Hello and welcome to the Matt and Phreds Speakeasy podcast. My name is Claire Turner and I run our little family business with my sister, our parents and the wonderful Matt and Phreds team, two of whom are running the podcast show. David Smith Jr. and Ed Gallyot will be chatting to some of the wonderful musicians who play at the club here in Manchester. They'll be discussing musical inspirations, songwriting techniques and hearing a little bit about what makes each of the musicians tick. If you can, please visit the Matt and Phreds website at mattandphreds.com. Phreds is spelt with a PH, and check out our online shop. There's loads of goodies to buy, of which money will go towards helping musicians who have lost all of their gigging income during this COVID-19 lockdown. So, without further ado, over to you, David and Ed. Enjoy the show.
Lovely.
Lovely indeed. Hello and welcome to another episode of Speakeasy, the Matt and Phreds podcast. My name is David Smith Jr. and I am joined, as always, by my co-host and coat rack, Ed Gallyot. How are you today, Ed?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, David. I'm hanging up all right. I'm ready to dive into a lovely interview with the Soul Grenades. How about yourself? Are you ready?
You know, Ed, I think I might be. I'm feeling an explosion of soul coming on, one might say, if you were to make a pun such as that.
Such a pun so terrible as that. One might
speak
make.
for yourself.
I will.
But before that, Ed, I'd like to tell you about something.
Tell me about what, David?
I'd like to tell you about our local recommended track of the week. Is that all right?
That sounds splendid. Tell me more. Go ahead.
Well, this is a wonderful track called Spare Time by an artist named Goo. Now that is G-O-U-X. And I really love this track. You know, it sits somewhere in between Jamie XX and maybe some of that classic All Saints girl power, and it's electro pop with these elements of trance, and it just really whisks you away in a dreamlike state, you know.
Wow, and you know that's the sort of transcendence I've been searching for, I think. So, yeah,
so
should we let it play out?
Stop that meditation, Ed, and just listen to this.
Let go. I'll just let go. Lovely.
So here we are then with our guests for today's episode. These guys are from the Soul Grenades, one of our very energetic, one of our favourite bands who comes through the club. Again, we've got quite a few people today, so but I'm going to get you all to introduce yourselves, if that's all right. And so we'll go in order. Just tell us who you are, what you do, what your favourite colour is, anything you like.
I'll go first. I'm Keir. I play guitar in Soul Grenades, and I'm currently looking after my 1-year-old in lockdown. Hence why I'm drinking beer at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
My Milan, how about you? You go now.
Hello, I'm Milan. I play saxophone in the band. What else to add to that? I founded the band years ago. It's still going, still not trucking on. Second album's coming out. And to skip the sales pitch, we should go to Andre.
I'm Andre. I play the keyboards, and I'm sometimes referred to as Phantom of the Nord. And I loved playing with Slipknot for a while, so it's a great band.
I can assure anyone who's listening who can't see what Andre is wearing, it's a silver sort of Phantom of the Opera-esque mask, and it's really lightening up this Zoom call. It's.
I do actually wear that for every single gig we play, including jazz club showings. Yes.
Yeah, we're quite familiar with that, with the mask. Actually, it's such a shame that this is an audio medium, but I think the energy of the mask will definitely carry into the conversation.
Do you want to paint a picture for what you're wearing as well, Milan? It's some sort of Soviet.
Well, the real tragedy is what with barbers being closed. I haven't been to barbers now for 2 months. So I've got a Russian policeman's hat, which I'm sure Andre will recognise if I bung that near the camera.
Looks pretty fake to me, but
which is it's actually a real copper's hat from Moscow. The guy very kindly gave it to me. He was sacked for taking bribes, and he gave me his hat, which I'm very grateful for.
Can we see the hair, mate? Can we see the hair?
No! Oh no! No, my barnet's a real mess, man. So this I wear this. I sleep in this. I'm living in this hat at the moment until I can get back to the barbers.
Whenever that may be.
Barber, I'll see you soon. I promise. I've got my flag background to make things more interesting.
That's again, it's all carrying. The energy's all carrying through. I'm feeling Moscow.
That's the spirit.
I'm feeling silver masks.
Hey.
We're pumped. We're energetic. So without any further ado, do you want to tell us what the first track is that we're going to be listening to? Any of you guys want to take that?
I actually forgot. I'm sorry. I know you gave us the verse, but I've completely forgot what it was.
That is all right. The first one will be Soviet Escape.
Soviet Escape. Oh yes, of course. That's a track. That's a tune.
And there we are. There it is. The introduction. Let's get into it then, I suppose.
So there's a whole bunch of different musicians in this project who's, they seem to come from a fairly wide range of both geographical and musical backgrounds. How did this all come together? I know, Milan, you said you're the ringleader. So how does it come about, the Soul Grenades? How does it come about?
It's a broad mix of people, different influences, different backgrounds. Somehow we just about hold it together. I think the other guys might disagree with me. I think my main motivation is people who are like on it, organised, reliable. Not all the band is, but we do our best.
Passive-aggressive, most passive-aggressive.
I invite these guys to a Zoom call. I know they're going to be on it, man. They're going to turn up. Bass player, I asked him to come on the Zoom call. Doesn't even respond. But that's part of the course. That's I can dig that. That's cool.
We are not even 5 minutes into this interview, and there has already been multiple call-outs. we are firing shots left, right, and centre. I mean, what about you guys? How did you fall into this position?
Andre, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I've actually played in a funk band, and we've been on the same bill with Milan, and we sort of shared a few words, shared a few beers, and I've completely forgotten about that whole experience. Obviously, the beers helped. And then this nut actually texted me a couple of years later, and he was like, "We're looking for a keys player for the band," and I was like, "Shit, how do he even remember me in this mask and all?"
It's a recreation of the moment. It's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and the rest history.
Yeah. in this tune specifically, the thing that we think sticks out to us is these Rhodes and the percussion and the drums and all this underneath these catchy horn lines. It's got a really live feel to it, and we were just wondering, is it recorded live? How, in terms of the record, what's the process putting these parts down and putting this tune together?
I think you actually picked up an important thing, because we did do the rhythm section for it live, and I don't think we could do it otherwise. It isn't like we had to be sort of in the studio. At least part of us had to be in the studio at the same time. But the more the more you can capture the energy of a lot of the songs, the better they sound.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys are an incredibly energetic live band anyway. So do you find it difficult to translate that energy over to the record when you're doing it?
As long as we're allowed to jump around and trash around, I think it's fine. What do you reckon, Keir?
Well, I just think it's the realistics. It's sometimes, because it's a big band. Like, just try and find a studio that can accommodate like a big band that's not, astronomical prices. So some of it has to be recorded. Obviously, we try and get rhythm section down, and then we can get the pretty stuff put on top. But I think, trying to get the live groove for that. I mean, ideally, in an ideal world, we'd all be in a massive room and do it together. But I think it's just the realistics. It's hard with a band this size. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was just the thing that stuck out to us. You could really hear that in the rhythm section. It's so tight, and we just thought it's got to be live. It's got to be.
It's that vibe. Yeah.
Next track is a real favourite of Keir's, written in 12/8, ballad.
I suppose. We had on the first album, we Don't Give Up on Love, because it's just like, if you've got 10 tracks of just like bang bang 120 in your face, or probably if Milan liked it like 180, damn it. It's all good, but I think you need a little bit, a little bit of light and shade. You need a couple of, especially sometimes at Matt and Phreds. It's just great, but it could be a long set. So if you're just bashing, the same dynamic for like 2 hours, so I think it's quite nice to bring it down. So on this one, we had this. I just had this kind of chilled vibe. A lot of Hammond, and it's just nice to have not a ballad necessarily, but just a track that's a different vibe. When you've done 6 or 7 tracks of hardcore funk, then I think it's nice to break it up a bit.
What's the title of this tune? Just for the listeners at home.
I Loved Again by You.
There we go.
Lovely.
Tease them. I'll have to tease them.
So obviously this track majorly features the gorgeous vocal from Anne Frankenstein.
Yes, that's correct.
So do you just want to tell us how that came about? How you built this beautiful monster together? That was my Frankenstein joke.
I met Anne's a DJ and a vocalist with the Gene Dudley group, and I depped with them on saxophone. It's got to be about 4 or 5 years ago now, and met Anne then, and just thought her voice would be perfect for this track. So approached her, and she said, "Oh yes, that's a great idea." That's the best impression I can do.
She's like a young Michael Jackson. Huh?
I don't know. I'm trying to put some like story into this, put some like feeling into it. But anyway, she was positive. She's got a great voice. She's one of those singers who I think sometimes, if she ever hears this, no disrespect at all, Anne, but I think sometimes she doesn't have enough confidence in her voice. I think she's got a beautiful voice and just needs to believe in her singing more, But I think she did a great job on the track. Really love it, and really happy with the contrast it offers on the album. Second album, which is out on the 29th of May.
What's it called, Milan? What's it called?
It's called Delicious Detonation, 29th of May!
And you'll have plenty of time to listen to it, because you will more than likely still be in your house. There's absolutely no excuse. Awesome. So you guys are based in London. What are the big difference between gigging down south and compared to coming up north and playing at Matt and Phreds? Like, do you prefer it? Do you? What do
you reckon, Andre?
Matt and Phreds is awesome. I have to say that probably the craziest gigs we do. It's great. I mean, in London, people, they kind of listen, they maybe like tap a little, and that's it. But no, I'm joking. But seriously, the audience at Matt and Phreds is just amazing. Doing 3 sets, you feel completely sort of wrung out by the end of it. But it's the best thing. And Matt and Phreds just so nice as a venue to play, and they've always been great to us. Most memorable weekends.
Awesome.
Well, if it's memorable when we're doing something wrong because we're supposed to sell you beer.
I mean, I sort of remember up to about the 3rd set, and then that's where things get a bit of a blur.
Just lost in a hazy keys trance.
Yeah, I think, I suppose the difference being, I don't know, it's nice to get out of London. We all gig in London all the time, which is, great, but it's just nice
Listen to the London native, nice to get out of London.
Nice to get out of London.
Go on, keep going.
Well, I think the hospitality of Matt and Phreds is something we always chat about. We're like, it's so nice up there. Claire and the team are so good. I think that's like the striking obvious difference between playing London and playing. Nothing wrong with playing London, but that northern hospitality maybe. No, that's southern, isn't it? But the northern.
It's all relative anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
playing.
Sorry, no, carry on.
Go on. No, just playing that length of set. Like, you're pretty fucked by the end of it, but it's the crowd are banging. So it's always a good one.
Oh, Fortunate, Fortunate is a track written by Claire Fallows, vocalist, and trumpet player, Andy. Andy.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Probably shouldn't admit this, but Andy kind of borrowed a riff from somewhere else, and we changed it enough that hopefully nobody will notice, and changed the key. That was my job. I changed the key, rearrange it, and then it's kind of turned into a new thing. Really happy with that track. Personal highlight on that track for me is the key solo, which I think is fantastic. Could listen to it all day long.
Did you mean the guitar solo?
No, you're wrong track, mate.
Never the guitar solo. Always
killer key solo on that one.
Yeah, always Andre.
Thanks. It's been a fun track to play too. Fun track.
I don't think this hasn't been played anywhere yet. This is like totally fresh and new. So, which is coming out on the 29th on our next album. What's
it called again? What's it called again?
Delicious Detonation. At least the 29th of July, 29th of May. It was going to be tomorrow originally at Matt and Phreds, but we've pushed it back. The vinyl is taking forever to get manufactured given the current situation. So we've got some shitty CDs, got some amazing CDs.
I was going to say,
everyone loves CDs.
Come and get some of this shit.
I mean, talking about the keys and stuff, I think Ed, you had a question talking about the influences for the track and stuff.
I noticed there's just a massive resemblance to Sly and the Family Stone. Are all your influences coming from that 70s funk era, or are there any unexpected things driving your style? Is there anything that no one would expect that's been a massive influence on the band?
That's a good question. I guess in a band as big as Soul Grenades, you're not going to get everybody into the same music, and probably unashamedly there's a couple of guys in the band who are maybe not that fussed about funk, but then we've kind of pushed them in that direction. But I think they've brought some influences from other genres in, which has kind of changed the sound. But I guess at its essence, funk's what I'm all about. It's kind of all I listen to: funk, jazz, soul, kind of that little kind of niche area. That's what I'm all about.
I mean, Milan loves everything 70s.
What about you guys, Kira? What about you guys? Have you got any surprising influences you want to?
I was about to say Milan loves everything 70s, but I'd hope we sort of borrowed, some of the heritage from the 90s and 2000s as well. I mean, certainly I'd say some of the Scofield Medeski stuff has been a big influence.
I was going to say the Schofield stuff.
Yeah. I mean, not just the 70s.
Awesome.
And then there's that Adele track, so clearly there's a lot of influences out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys do an Adele cover, don't you? Is that you guys?
Yeah, Rolling in the Deep. Yeah.
So I mean, in terms of that kind of stuff, like I'm just putting together such a long set for Matt and Phreds. You do a few covers here and there. Where do you tend to like pull these from? Do you want to? Is it funk tunes that you're looking for, or do you prefer to like take pop tunes and twist them, or is it just whatever sounds good? Like, what's your?
I think probably what you said. What you said there. I think we try and avoid. Kia historically and Andre have played in various function bands, and a bunch of the guys have. I think we try and avoid that kind of repertoire, the kind of really obvious tracks. Admittedly, sometimes on a really long set we'll chuck some well-known stuff in, but I think we try and do some interesting kind of covers of things, or some covers that are so obscure people not even going to know their covers. On the rare occasions people do, it's kind of you know that song, that kind of thing. So.
And then you found someone who can really connect with the music, a real
yeah.
You got to love the life you live. Live and die, love and die. Live and love and love and die. You got to love the life you live. Live and die, love and die. Live and love and love and
die. It's good. I mean, thank you so much, guys, for talking to us. That's about all we've got question-wise. So, all that's left, I was going to ask you to plug some stuff in right at the end, but you've been doing a very good job of that all the way through the interview. So, one last time for the people at home, for the people at the back who weren't listening, what do people need to know? Where to find you? What to buy? Give us a rundown.
Pre-order the album. You can pre-order now, anytime at your leisure. Just search for Soul Grenades, you'll find all the shit you need. Album's at 29th of May. It makes the ideal Christmas gift, Easter gift, funeral gift. It's just a gift, man. Just buy it. Pre-order it.
There was a visible cringe from everyone else on the call.
What, you don't buy funeral gifts? Oh, man.
You got something to lighten up the day.
We're really, it's coming out. Buy it, pre-order it, stream it. At least pre-save it on Spotify. That costs nothing.
Well, what's it called again?
Like that. It's called Delicious Detonation. It's out on the 29th of May, 2020.
And what's the band called?
Soul Grenades.
Soul Grenades.
Soul Grenades.
Grenades.
Thank you so much.
And what are you guys called? Sorry.
I'm Milan.
Andre.
Kia.
There we go. Wonderful. We've been fully...
And Baby.
And Baby's head, which will make literally no sense to anyone who can't see it on the screen.
If anyone who can't see it, it's like on Toy Story when he's been building out of all the leftover toys. He's been building Frankenstein toys. We've had that sort of.
They're actually cousins.
Yeah, their cousin. His cousin, that baby, has been in this interview period.
Yeah, that's basically
up.
Milan's little friend.
Not offering much by the way of input, but freaking me out quite
shake
a lot,
it.
which I guess is just the same.
Well,
cool. Well, thank you very much, guys, for talking to us. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure, man.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
Keep up the good work, man. Keep up the good
Looking forward
work.
to getting up there again soon.
Lovely
indeed. And Ed, I've got to say, the energy that those guys had, it really is unlike anything else I think I've experienced.
I mean, if you could have seen that, there were props flying everywhere, and
it's chaos.
Some interesting backgrounds as well. But obviously, you're just listening, and we hope we described it for you as well as we could. But it's been a good episode. But I'm afraid to say, sad to say, that it's time for it to come to an end. David, how are you feeling about that?
Honestly, Ed, I'm a little bit broken up about it. I've just enjoyed your company and the guys' company so much, but and the listeners' company, of course. And if the listeners would like to get in touch with us, that was a segue. What they can do is send us an email at our email address, which is speakeasy@mattandphreds.com. That's Phreds with a PH. And just tell us whatever you'd like to tell us. Tell us about what music you're listening to. Tell us about what you think of our guests, or tell us about maybe some good times you've had at Matt and Phreds. It's been a long time since we've been out. We've been allowed to see our friends and to have a good time. So why don't we relive those experiences together?
And if you like what you've heard, you can find us on the Matt and Phreds website at mattandphreds.com/podcast. You can also find us at buzzsprout.com/speakeasy. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Music. There's so many places. There's so many different ways in which you can listen. It's just phenomenal. And we've been excited to be here, you know. And with that, there's time to say thank you, isn't it, to a few people. David, who would you like to say thank you to?
Well, Ed, I would first like to say thank you to Goo for being our local recommended track of the week. That's GOUX, and I expect you to go and check her out.
I'd also like to say thank you to Claire Turner for our lovely intro. I'd like to say thank you to William McKenty for the beautiful jazz you hit in between the tracks.
But most of all, of course, we'd like to say...
Most of all.
We'd like to say a huge, hearty, wholesome, heavy...
Splendid.
Heroic...
Ginormous.
Gigantic thank you to the Soul Grenades for being our guest this week and for putting up with our terrible banter.
I would like to thank you for putting up with our terrible banter, and if you've made it this far, it means you're probably going to be here next week as well to listen to another episode of Speakeasy on Friday.
Friday.
Friday.